Hello there, Ray here, and welcome to the first part of a three-part 100,000 subscriber special video. I just want to thank everyone who just took the time to hit that subscriber button and got us to this enormous goal. I want to do something truly special for this first video, as most of you guys know me for my different contraptions or farms, or my ability to make seemingly impossible things possible in Minecraft. But what you guys don't know is the person behind all that, and that is me. As an extremely introverted person, I can come across as shy and mysterious. This often leads me to being misunderstood. But my personality plays a big part in how I overcome and am able to take on these crazy projects in Minecraft. So in this video, you'll be able to see all the scenarios which I was able to overcome and how I use my strengths to do it. And at the end of the video, I'll talk about what the next two videos are going to be about, including my almost 11-year single-player survival world, which I have never publicly shown. In the background of this video, you'll see a lot of footage of different large events that we did over the past year on the ProtoTech SMP server. It is currently the oldest vanilla survival server, with the goal of accomplishing 100% of what Minecraft survival has to offer, including obtaining every item, mob, and block in the game, even rare and discontinued ones. This also means going out 360 million blocks to reach every world border and other insane things. And the footage that is currently playing in the background is of the members clearing out part of our spawn chunks, as well as new chunks that are north of spawn, which will be our new ultimate storage system. And we designed some fly machines to help us with this project. Now later in the video, there's going to be some footage of the ProtoTech members using Comet's tunnel board to mine through some extreme hills to collect up tons of emerald ore for a future project. I have been working on my subscriber special videos on and off for the last 3 months, and of all my videos, these videos were by far the most difficult to make, as it feels very selfish to talk about myself. But over the years, this has been probably one of the most requested type of videos you guys asked for. You guys want to know how my brain thinks, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of it. To be honest with you guys, I don't feel like I am that special of a person. Even though people throughout my life have told me that I have great talent, even though I accomplish a lot of cool stuff, I see myself as a normal person. But I have found myself thinking in different situations why other people haven't grasped onto different things as quickly as I would think they should, or I found myself laughing at the beginning of a joke that somebody just started to tell because I've already calculated out all possible outcomes which would have made the joke funny and therefore know how the joke's going to end. But the way I came about to learn about my strengths was actually by a freak accident. It all started when I seen this video in the sidebar of YouTube that said rarest personality type, and I'm kind of a big fan of looking into rare things, so of course I clicked on it. The video kind of came off to me as if it was like a horoscope. The way that horoscopes kind of work is that they kind of generalize their forecast, so that kind of applies to everybody in some way or another. And I was kind of feeling the same output from this video. Everything that they were describing in this video seemed to describe me. I felt like it very easily could be describing anybody. As I continued watching the video, it became very eerie as I was able to describe a personality in great detail. This intrigued me to look into it in more detail. The video was talking about categorizing groups of people by similar traits in their personality. The people that are really outgoing are extroverts. People that more keep to themselves are introverts. Although in school they often do teach you about different personalities and how different famous people have tried to categorize people in different ways and different personality traits, it often comes across as more historical and unproven. But nonetheless, I was willing to give it a second look, and I looked into some of these personalities, especially one that was talked about in this video. So then I went onto a website that went into more detail. They went on to describe some unique characteristics of those personalities. I found a lot of the traits represented me, but some of them did not. A lot of traits I'm about to tell you guys, you'll probably see have some type of reference back to how I play Minecraft and how I overcome different problems I come across in Minecraft. And they're categorizing of personalities. INFJs comes up as being the rarest personality type that is found among people, with less than 1% of the population having it. But keep in mind that the world is really large and there's tons of people, so even a small percentage is still a ton of people. And INFJ stands for introvert, intuition, feelings, judging, because those are the main characteristics that embody it. And with these different personalities like the INFJ, they often give them a more understandable name. So they call INFJs advocate or idealist. So people with these characteristics have a sense of idealism and morality, but they're not just idle dreamers. They're able to take concrete steps to realize their goals and make a lasting positive impact. People with this type of personality often see the purpose of life in helping others and have a real passion for getting to the main issue of people's problems and not just rescuing them from it. The person doesn't have to be saved from it again in the future. And these characteristics really represent me as I strive to make the situation ideal and feel like my passion in life is to help others. And also help others in such a way where they can help themselves. It goes on to talk about different traits that INFJs have, like they're soft-spoken, but they have very strong opinions. They're also to the point and very strong-willed, but will rarely use the energy for personal gain. And I find myself in a situation where a lot of times I'll spend a lot of energy trying to help others, but I don't pour that same type of energy to helping myself when I'm in those situations. It goes on to say that they act with the creativity, imagination, conviction, and sensitivity, not to create an advantage, but to create a balance. You see a lot of these characteristics flow over to different things that I do in Minecraft, but I often do find myself treating very well-known people the same as if I would treat any other person. But sometimes well-known people want to be treated differently, and they see this action as kind of being disrespectful. It goes on to say that these type of people tend to believe nothing would help the world so much as using love and compassion to soften the hearts of tyrants. I feel like these words are really true. It goes on to say that these people have the talent for warm, sensible language and speaking in human terms that is easy to relate with. I think this has helped me kind of explain different really technical things in Minecraft in a more easy to understand way. And oftentimes their friends or colleagues will think of them as being an extrovert person, even though the I in INFJ stands for introvert. So just like all introverts need time to decompress as well as recharge. INFJs often have so much passion that they can often push themselves too hard and find themselves being exhausted or stressed out. And I sometimes feel this as, I feel like there's so many cool things I can do in Minecraft and I can't do them all. So I have to kind of decide which ones to pursue. And people with this personality will try to avoid conflicts. But if cornered, they will fight back. And I find myself trying to avoid conflicts all the time. I feel like there's so much positivity that we could do. There's really no reason that we should be having conflicts. It goes on to talk about how this personality sees all the inequalities in the world and is willing to take their skills to make it a better place. But oftentimes when they're trying to take on the world, they kind of forget to take care of themselves. And sometimes I neglect to put myself in a good situation because I'm trying so hard to put others in a good situation. With any personality type, there is strengths as well as weaknesses. So the strengths that come with INFJ are creativity, which you probably are well aware that I really enjoy doing creative stuff through Minecraft. Also insightfulness. This allows them to easily see through dishonesty as well as disingenuous motives. And for me, this is very prominent. Any type of manipulation or sales tactics that I see really just discourages me. And it also allows me to easily distinguish who is lying and who is not. And it goes on to say that these personalities can see how people and events are connected, and they use this ability to get to the heart of a matter. I see this quite often where people will try to kind of use one thing to cover up something else rather than getting to the heart of the matter. And it's really evident for me that they're being dishonest to themselves, which may seem like a really good strength, but I'll talk later on about how it's also a weakness. Another strength is not being inspiring, as these people can have very warm and passionate conversations, especially about things that they enjoy. And I think this shows in my Minecraft videos where I kind of am able to passionately talk about what I do in Minecraft. Another strength is that they're decisive. They're able to easily take their ideas and with the willpower that they have, plan out complex projects all the way to the very end and all in advance. They're able to not only envision it, but are also able to see the steps to take to reach the goal. This is very useful when I design my farms or machines. I already have a vision in my head exactly how the machine is going to work, and all I have to do is follow the steps in order to get it to that point. And I also think of a million different other scenarios. If one way would not happen to work, I already know all the other alternative ways I would try to do it in descending order. So it kind of makes it difficult when I work with other people and designing machines. If something doesn't work, somebody will be like, oh, why don't we do this? And then I already have an idea of 5 other ways I want to do it. And then I'll be like, okay, this is the next one on my list. This is the way I want to try it. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of people just taking designs and kind of forking them, because not everyone has the same envision of what it should look like when it's done. Another strength that they have is determination and passionate. These people often have so much passion that it can catch others off guard and kind of leave them in the dust. And they're willing to rock the boat if they must. And I often see this where my determination allows me to just plow through any situation. No matter if everybody thinks it's not going to work, I just continue pushing forward because I already have a end goal and vision. And I know how to get to that. Even if people say it's not possible, that doesn't discourage me from reaching my end goal. People with this personality are also altruistic, meaning they care about the happiness and well-being of other human beings. They won't promote beliefs that just benefit themselves, but the group at large, and will pursue an idea if they believe it will better the world. This is something I'm doing all the time, but doesn't always come across as a strength, because sometimes I'll be promoting beliefs that aren't necessarily my own, but because I believe they are the best for the group. For every personality, there's also weaknesses to go with their strengths. Sensitivity is one of those. They're very sensitive to conflict and will try to avoid it. They don't like being criticized for the long thought process that they put into the principles that they're enacting, and are often extremely private when it comes to their personal lives. They won't be even truly open to even their close friends. This is a personality that I also feel is true to me. I know I come across as being probably extremely private, but I just feel like that's just normal. I feel like I'm just an average person, and my life isn't that interesting to really be sharing around publicly. But I have been trying to work on this weakness by making like this video, as well as talking about personal stories during my Twitch streams. And it seems like you guys really liked my funny stories from my life. I'm also not very good at storytelling, so that's another reason why I decided to start telling stories, in hopes that I get better at it. Another weakness of INFJ is perfectionists, as they have the pursuit for ideals. But ideal situations aren't always possible, and often see themselves thinking that there's a better option down the road. And I do find myself in this situation where I'm always thinking of better ways of doing stuff, and therefore trying to pursue these better ways. Sometimes as a perfectionist, people try to find flaws in you, and some people really get upset if they can't find flaws, so they try to make up a flaw, which is kind of a weird thing that perfectionists run across in their lifetime. Another weakness is they always need to have a cause, and they can get really caught up in tasks that kind of get in between them and their ideal vision, and they don't like the idea if there is no goal at the end at all. I kind of agree with this, but I've learned to overcome it, because especially in Minecraft, where a lot of times I pursue maybe 10 different projects, but only one of them will actually make it into something that's quite interesting that I'll show on my YouTube channel. But there is a lot of disappointment when you work really hard towards some goal and it turns out not to work. The last weakness that they speak about is they can get burnt out easily because they have so much passion, and they sometimes don't take time to decompress, as well as being extremely private often causes them to be exhausted. Now this is one I really don't relate with. I don't get burnt out easily. I have been playing Minecraft almost daily for 11 years, but I also take very strict steps in order to not burn out. I have about 25 different Minecraft projects going on at any given time, so I can move around between them. I don't stick at one thing for extremely long periods of time. I'm not one of those people like, oh man, I'm just gonna grind out this one thing until it's done. I'm gonna be so proud of it. Although that does sound cool and you get some really cool results, in the long run it's just not worth it. And this also could come about when they don't take time to themselves. I personally am quite avid in the outdoors and enjoy hiking, hunting, and fishing. People with this personality are often looking for others that have something they can truly connect upon. And anybody that tries to resort to manipulation or lying can easily be spotted by an INFJ. I can personally account for this when people try to manipulate the situation or lie outright. It's like a big, huge red flashing light. I won't tell the person that they're just lying. I usually try to figure out what the real reason for that is and get to the actual problem so we can actually solve it, rather than just calling them a liar. But for people that don't have this ability, it's very hard to explain to them why you can tell that somebody's lying. You can almost think of them as kind of like a quantum computer where they take in thousands of different points. And they keep track of all that, and when enough of those points don't add up, the red light comes on. But it's very difficult to say what those exact 1,000 points are. And I've had situations where I could tell somebody was lying. It would be half a year or even a year later that it was actually possible to prove that they were lying. Most people wouldn't believe me during the time, but after that period where we did figure it out, they'd be like, how did you know this so early on? And it's very difficult to explain to them how I was able to pick it up. And they're really looking for authentic relationships with others. And they have a real strong ability to understand others' thoughts and emotions. These type of people are very deep people and don't care for uncommitted or shallow type of people. And for me, if I come across somebody who wants to like show me something new in Minecraft or wants to work on a project with me in Minecraft, they come across as being like kind of uncommitted to what they're trying to achieve. It's kind of a real turnoff for me. As an introvert, they kind of avoid social circles unless it's something they're passionate about. It can be really hard to get to know someone that's an INFJ because they're very private and they don't share their thoughts or feelings unless they feel really comfortable with those that are around them. So it can take a lot of time to actually get to know them. But for INFJ, they're very insightful and have a particular knack for seeing beyond others' disguises. And they're able to interpret others' intentions quickly and easily and weed out those who they deem incompetent. I see this in myself where I can easily distinguish others' intentions and what their goals are. And if their goals are something that I don't approve of, I usually stay clear of them. And often, INFJs will expect a lot out of their friends and probably actually too much. But they are looking for someone that can grow and improve. And oftentimes, because they're so passionate and clearly express themselves, can lead to unwanted attention and popularity. But this personality type tends to avoid seeking power over others and will also avoid people who are drawn to that type of power. This is something I battle with a lot of times. I don't really enjoy being in the attention or in the spotlight, but I do enjoy doing really cool things. But in order for others to enjoy what I do, they have to know about it. Therefore, I have to bring attention to the things that I do in order to find more people that are passionate about it. And this is something I've been working on ever since I decided to start showing what I do on YouTube. It goes on to say that INFJs find themselves more sought after than they ever cared to be, which makes it even harder for them to find any true friends because they're just looking for friends that are authentic and not people that are trying to become popular. They will also try to let people try to be independent. That's something I really try to promote is people going out and trying to design their own Minecraft farms or design their own machines in Minecraft because I believe everybody is truly capable of doing it. And that's one of the goals of my channel is to kind of take the mystery or the magic out of some of the weird stuff in Minecraft to make it more understandable. You guys can do the same stuff like I do. People with this personality aren't really focused on their status or their material gain, but instead are focused on trying to improve a situation. And people with this personality often find themselves in roles such as counselors, psychologists, doctors, life coaches, and spiritual guides. All situations where they can try to use their skills to help others. And therefore, they're more often to find independence in leadership positions or by simply creating their own business. And they will steer clear of work that is overly repetitious or promotes conflict. And for me, it's very difficult to kind of sell what I do. And promoting my videos is probably one of the harder things. That's why I really rely on you guys to share what I do with other people. And they like to work in areas where they can express their creativity as well as insight. And they do the best when they strive to be their own boss, neither above nor below anyone else. They often become quite popular in groups where they're seen as being positive, eloquent, as well as being capable, which can be quite sought after, including their ability to identify others' motives, diffuse conflicts before anyone else even senses a disturbance. They also place a lot of importance on working together and encouraging hard work as well as helping others. And oftentimes they're the person that people end up kind of pushing their stuff onto because they know they will finish it. And I see this sometimes when we design up farms. Sometimes people won't really have the willpower to work on it anymore and be like, hey, let's push this off on Ray, he'll finish it. And oftentimes, as an introvert, you just kind of want to do the lone wolf and take time to pursue your own goals. After reading the article, I took a personality test, and I fell in between the INFJ and the INTJ. INTJ stands for introvert, intuition, thinking, and judging. INTJs are known as the architects, and the best way that I can describe it, it's like being a quantum computer where you're doing non-stop analyzing of things. For every single action you do, you think of 1,000 different ways to perform it. You go down each 1,000 different paths and find the one that leads to the best outcome, and then use that one. And this is being applied to every single thing you do in your daily life. It becomes extremely taxing. People with this personality also are curious about everything, but remain extremely focused. And I use this in Minecraft a lot. I think of all the different scenarios on how to accomplish something, and then I choose the best one for the situation. And I'm extremely curious about everything. Whenever people tell me something new, I'm always asking tons of questions about it. I always notice the just kind of weird things that occur, and I'm always asking myself like, what happened there? What's going on? And overall, I'm just really curious about pretty much everything. And INTJs also have a real thirst for knowledge even at early ages. And when I was younger, I used to go through the encyclopedias and actually went through every single page in the 20 some volumes of encyclopedias that we had. I wasn't very good at reading, so I didn't do a ton of reading. Architects also enjoy sharing their knowledge that they acquire, and that's something I enjoy doing. Everything I learn about Minecraft, I love to share with you guys through the YouTube videos or my Twitch streams. Architects also like to carry out effective plans rather than waste time with foolish distractions. And sometimes I feel this when I'm working on something really intensely. I don't like to just be distracted. They also believe that nothing is impossible, and with enough effort, intellect, and thought, you can overcome anything. And I try to apply this all the time. Whenever I come across scenarios in Minecraft which just seem impossible, I feel like with enough willpower, anything can be overcome. They're also very self-confident in their skills, using logic to push innovations through with sheer willpower. And they have a knack for constantly deconstructing and rebuilding every idea and system that they come across. Architects often like to work alone, which allows them to usually come up with unique innovations. And sometimes I like working alone on different projects because I just don't agree with what other people think we should do with a certain discovery. And this usually allows me to come up with some unique machines at the end of it. But these people often don't wait for others to catch up with them, and others can be kind of left in the dust. And sometimes I feel like that when I work with certain people, they kind of restrict my ability to innovate or move forward. That's where I think it's a really good idea to kind of take a project, make a copy of it, have people work on different copies. That way we don't feel like we're restricting each other's ability to expand. Architects are also not impulsive whatsoever, and they will remain rational no matter what the situation that they encounter, even if the rational route is 1,000 times harder to overcome. I notice this in myself a lot. Even in really dire situations, I'm able to think rationally and choose the outcome that will make the most sense as well as will work out. And this really kind of plays into the ability to look down every single path and know the outcome of every different situation. I'm already thinking of 1,000 different ways to overcome a problem that I never even ran across. So when something does unexpectedly occur, I already have 1,000 different ways I'm going to overcome that problem. And that allows me, when something like that does occur, with confidence to say, okay, this is what we're going to do next, and then this, and then this, and this. This sometimes occurs in Minecraft where like a server crashes or some machine gets out of hand. I don't really get frustrated in these situations. I already have a clear idea on how I'm going to solve the problem. People that are INTJs can find some social practices to be very bizarre and really ground themselves in truth and depth. I don't really agree with this because I grew up where social practices were prominent among my family. Overall, I grew up in a community where everybody was just really nice to each other. INTJs don't like reacting to emotions only, or more fact-based. This can make them come across coldly. And they're always looking for new tactics or strategies to overcome any problems. Their strengths include being quick, imaginative, as well as being strategic mind. They pride themselves in their mind and take every chance they can to improve their knowledge. These all really characterize me as I can come up with different ideas very quickly. I like to think outside the box. I like to strategize how a build is going to come about. I'm always looking for new things to learn. INTJs are also highly self-confident because they do those like thousands of different checks for every different scenario they encounter. They're really confident in the decision being very good. And this allows for a very honest and direct style of communication. This makes them very persistent in the facts that they know. When people ask me like a question like, will this work? I can think back to all the different situations and try to find the best one to get a certain outcome. INTJs are also independent as well as decisive. No matter how popular some ideas, if they think they have a better idea, they're willing to stand alone and able to show their new idea with confidence. A lot of what I do is coming up with new things. Most people are so ingrained in the past that they really don't accept new stuff until you can prove to them that it's worth their time or effort. And it can be very difficult to be the point of the plow, taking all the blunt pushing forward. And authority figures don't really impress INTJs. And for me, like movie stars or like singing stars don't really impress me. INTJs are also hardworking and determined. I see this a lot in what I do. I worked very hard at everything I do, and I'm extremely determined. I think this really shows in all the machines I build for Minecraft. But I think this is also a characteristic that anybody who's trying to do YouTube or anybody who's trying to be their own boss, you have to be hardworking as well as determined. Because there is nobody behind you saying you need to do better. It's only yourself saying you need to do better. Another strength is that they're open-minded. I really agree with this. I'm very open to tons of different ideas, even ideas that I don't think are going to work. I'm just excited to see other people having ideas. And I'm open to hearing other people's ideas on how to overcome a problem. And the last strength is they are kind of a jack of all trades because they're open-minded and they have willpower and they're independent and they're confident as well as ability to plan out stuff. They're pretty much able to do anything they set their mind to. And they can use this skill to break down and learn any system and then go a step farther and then improve the system. I think this comes very helpful when doing like technical Minecraft where you have to kind of work in a lot of different areas within Minecraft. You not only have to like kind of understand redstone, you also have to understand different mechanics that entities have, as well as how different blocks properties interact with other things. And every time a new block comes into the game, you can easily see how that block is going to interact with all the other previous mechanics, and then be able to think of how that can be useful. INTJs also have weaknesses. They can come across as being arrogant because they have so confidence and they feel like they know what they're talking about so well because they checked 1,000 different paths to find what they believe to be the best outcome, which can come across as a poor social skill. They're also very judgmental. Because they're such a rational thinker, they kind of judge everything they see. And I'm doing this all the time. I'm always judging other people's builds. I was also raised not to be disrespectful and be encouraging of others to improve their design. Another weakness is that they can be over analytical. They literally analyze every single detail to the most smallest detail. And this can make them being very picky. I sometimes see myself doing this, and at some point I just have to say, you know, if I want to be picky about my own stuff, that's fine, but I can't be too picky about other people's stuff. Another weakness is that they don't like people that blindly follow things without a good reason. For me, it's upsetting to see people just kind of be like sheep and follow a situation when they don't have a very good grasp of what they're doing. And they often try too hard to be a perfectionist and they can often be too hard on their friends, making friendship very difficult, and they do better in a more relaxed environment where friendship comes naturally. For me, it's very difficult to work around people that react in an irrational way, especially people that are immature. And sometimes people think you can't be like mature as well as silly or funny. That is definitely not the case. And INTJs are often looking for quality in their friends rather than quantity. For me, I really don't like being around people that are extremely clingy. I feel like I need to have friends that are able to stand on their own 2 feet just like I can stand on my own 2 feet. So I really promote people to kind of have that same type of independency and being confident in what they're doing and not always needing my reassurance. Anybody who is doing their own stuff without me having to tell them is like a breath of fresh air to me. INTJs also have very unique type of sarcasm as well as dark humor, which others might just not understand. And overall, INTJs really enjoy their freedom and really not to have some other things just so they can have their freedom. Because they kind of have a straightforward thinking to overcome any type of obstacle, they're often misunderstood. I really believe both personality types have allowed me to not only soft-hearted towards people's emotions, but also very logistic in designing unique and ingenious contraptions in Minecraft. And because both these personality types are the 2 rarest types, if you're someone of these type of personalities, you may very well feel like you are alone and you just don't run into more people like you. I think that's where really Minecraft comes in, because I actually meet lots of people that are just like me every day and what I do. I think that's what's so cool about doing like the live streams where we have the viewers join us as we build up new contraptions. We're working with tons of like-minded people and we get together very well. And everybody has their own little quirks, but all in all, we're more alike than we are different. I think it really helps for me to have a cool and calm demeanor, which allows me to meet people that have unusual quirks and are all in all nice people once you get to know them. If you guys haven't taken any type of personality test before, I'd highly recommend you do it, especially if you feel that people misunderstand you. I also linked down below the website which I used, not like endorsed by them or anything, but I did find the information on there very enlightening, and I wish I knew about it at a younger age. I know a lot of guys probably weren't expecting this type of video for one of my 100,000 special videos. But there will be at least a total of 3 different videos that will be a part of my 100,000 subscriber special. Next video will be more about my YouTube channel as well as Minecraft. Then the 3rd video will be me touring my almost 11-year-old single-player survival world. So you guys got that to look forward to. The reason why I didn't tour my old world while talking about this kind of stuff is because when I tour my world, I really want to just talk about my world and different things in it, because there's a lot of history there and a lot of really good memories. I want to thank all you guys who actually made it to the end of the video and for the amazing support allowing us to reach 100,000 subscribers. This video took a lot of energy as it's not something I do a lot. It's a lot easier for me to design farms and talk about that than talking about myself. So it made me feel very weird to talk about my strengths and my weaknesses. And since I'm a very selfless person, it's extremely difficult to speak in a selfish way. And in no way is one personality type better than others. They all have great strengths and weaknesses. All in all, guys, I have a real passion for Minecraft as well as teaching others, and I hope some of my excitement for Minecraft can rub off on you. And I really hope this video allowed other people to take the same kind of journey that I did and learn more about their personality and what weaknesses they may have and how they can overcome them. And I'd love to hear you guys' opinions down in the comments. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.